My husband, Gregopedia, got me really great lighting. So he does a nice job. But for the second half, I've got Cycling Frog, THC Wild Cherry Seltzer. So
Oh, okay.
that's going to be my next go-to. And they were a little warm, so I made myself a little ice bucket here. That'll be, and I love a coupe glass. I'm a fan of the coupe.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, I like a fancy glass.
Me too.
These are from Amazon, and they're the Dubliner Glass Company or something like that. It's a Chinese company.
I like it.
You could throw this across the room; it won't break. It's
Wow.
unbelievable glass, but it won't break. So and they're very inexpensive. So I bought like a whole set. Like I was like, oh, I'm getting a whole bunch of these.
I need to get me some. I definitely need some at least some wine glasses.
I'll send you the link to their shop on Amazon. I'll email it to you because they actually have some pretty cool stuff. And like my house is like, I have a working kitchen. Like people that come into my kitchen, it's like not a fancy kitchen. It's workhorse. So like I need my stuff to be like durable and like ready to go. You know, it's
Yes.
really, really what I have to do. So, are we speaking? Yeah, Lady Letitia. Yeah, she's here. So I want to drop the link for your channel. That's one of the things I want to do.
I did. I went ahead and I'm streaming it for my channel as well. That way we can have my people come in too. And
oh, good.
Reading as well. That would be great.
Okay. Yeah, that's totally fine. So you're all right, you're streaming to yours. So anybody that doesn't have the link, let me grab that link. Where's your link? I'm trying to grab it. There we go. I'm going to drop that in the chat. So if you guys aren't subscribed to Lady Letitia, go over there, give her a sub. All of her people are really nice, you know. Ian Barton jumped on my question. This was the next thing I was going to say. Tell us about your channel.
My channel is, I talk about Harry and Meghan and the royal family. I talk about how they came in and pretty much, well, Meghan came in and pretty much destroyed it, in my opinion. And so I decided one day, I said, I want to tell someone what she's about. Like, I have to say something. And then I was doing something on YouTube and I realized that I could make me my own channel and start talking about it. So I did. And that's what happened. I started talking about the gruesome twosome. And that's what I did.
As an American, like we have a very unique perspective on her. And I have a very specific perspective on Meghan Markle because I lived in Los Angeles and my ex-husband worked in the music industry. So I was in and out of some of those organizations and groups. And, you know, my ex-husband managed, you know, pretty well-known name bands and talent. So like I would walk in and like, you know, I'd have some famous person on my couch, you know, like I just got used to it. But I saw so many women like her that were trying to climb in LA and trying to make something happen.
Yeah.
And honestly, if it doesn't happen by the time you're like 25, 26, like you got to figure out a plan B. You know? That was my experience. I moved there. I was 28. I was old and I was fat and I weighed 105 pounds. Like,
wow.
I'm fat. Like it was really
right. Bad. How weird.
Traumatizing experience. So for you, like, what is your like first impression, Meghan Markle? Like, what's your take on her?
My first impression was, is she one of them? Is she going to be like this gold digger? Is she wanting it for fame and fortune? You know, that was my first like instinct. But then I was like, you know, let's give her the benefit of the doubt to see what she's about and not prejudge her. And so I did. And I gave her a very long time. I think right before, I think when she exited, that was the end for me. That was the beginning of the end, because I even gave her the benefit of the doubt, not inviting her family members. but to the wedding, and there's something wrong. I think there's something delusional wrong with her.
There, for me, if a gal, like I have my girlfriends span from people that I've just met in the last year. Denise, I'm looking at you. And go all the way back to kindergarten. Like one of my best friends, I went to kindergarten with her. And women that can't maintain relationships with other women make me very, very nervous, because that either means that they're super, super ruthless, or like something's not working there, you know,
Something's
like
not working. Yeah.
yeah. That made me, when she had the wedding, and like I know Jessica Mulroney was there, but it did kind of seem like it was meh, you know, like they were just kind of sort of friends, like recently.
Right.
You know, and I did see her in her PR, like she was like, oh, I've known these girls since high school, you know, she would like plug people in there. But that made me, I thought it was weird that there was no family. You know, in the members only live that I just did the reading, somebody had asked, like, did Hillary really not know Ghislaine? Like, was she really a plus one to the wedding? And I said, you know, I think Ghislaine was married, was invited to the wedding as part of a block set. And how I framed it was like, when you get married, like, you know, if you invite this cousin, you got to invite this cousin. If you invite this side for the groom or the bride, you got to invite that side for the groom or the bride. Like,
right.
You know, when Greg and I, you know, Greg and I are full blown adults. We got married in 2017, and we both had very full lives and big families. And so we were when we were putting our wedding together, I very quickly figured out, I go, Greg, we're going to have 200 guests. And he goes, we can't. We don't have that many friends. And I go, we do. And if we want them to come, we've got to add more, because we've got to get them to bring their kids. So I was like, we're not doing this in some crazy hall. We're not doing it at, you know, a venue where we're paying $160 a plate. I go, we're doing it in the backyard. So worked out much better. It was a lot more fun.
Oh, good.
I think that's very strange that she did not have any family. You know, and a little bit sad. You know, she lost me at the engagement interview.
A lot of people she lost at the engagement interview. That's interesting.
I immediately got I got very practiced from her. And you know, I'm if she had been like a regular girl, like if that was Chelsea Davy or Cressida Bonus, you know, like they're regular people, they're not used to being in front of the camera. But that was a very practiced presentation of what she wanted. You know, and you and I are content creators. Like, you know, when you were doing your live, I was doing my makeup. I was trying to make myself presentable. You know, we do our best. You know, I have lighting, we have filters. Like I filter. I have no shame. I'm going to be 55 this summer. I have no shame. I put a filter on this summer. But you know, it just felt like it was a bit more than that. And I really, really loved her in the Vanity Fair spread that they did, the Wild About Harry one.
Oh, okay.
I really liked her in that. I was like, she's so cute and she's really fresh looking. You know, and then when I found out she was divorced, I was like, okay, she's divorced. She's a little bit more experienced. She kind of knows what she wants. I was very excited about it. I thought it was going to be very, very cool. But I did also have some reservations because my son's father is from Scotland, and clearly that didn't work out because I'm not married to him. And I found out when we started living together after I had my son that the cultures were very different. And that was after knowing him for over 20 years.
Wow.
You know, it just, even though we have a common language, the cultures are very, very different. And I think we heard it when Meghan Markle said everything in the United Kingdom is very small. And I don't think of it as small. I spent some time over there during university. I did a little. It was just a thesis that I did. I was there for 6 weeks. I was in London, so it wasn't like I was out in the countryside. But everything is more subtle, not necessarily small. It's just a more gentle approach, whereas Americans were very we come into the room, and we're very present and very obvious. Things in England, you have to pay a little bit more attention. The body language is certainly different. So I get where you're coming from, because my channel kind of coincided with my channel was actually supposed to be like tarot news and politics, and I love politics. I get neck deep into politics. My family is very it has a lot of discourse about politics.
Yes.
And very, very quickly, I found out that like all of the people that were coming to me wanted to hear about Harry and Meghan and whatnot. My husband says all the time, everything I've learned about Harry and Meghan is against my will. I didn't mean to learn it. But he even has an opinion every now and then. So, it's actually
my husband too.
Yeah. What's your husband think?
At first, he gave her the benefit of the doubt. He gave it to her longer than I thought he should have. And then he was like, yeah, there's something wrong there. Especially, how she treats the family and how she separated him from his family.
That's weird.
Yes.
That's weird. And that's something I think that, that's textbook, DV or DA 101, when they start telling you like who you can talk to, what you can wear, what you can do, who you can speak with. Like those are all like danger signs. So it is it's a shame. I think he was a vulnerable person. I think it was easy to isolate him. I think she led him with the whole THC and cannabis thing. I think she led him with that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you'll love it in California. Everything's right. I moved to California because it was there. So like, full disclosure, I don't have a problem with that. But I think that she said, we can get you off your medication. You can just go and, be free and, everything's great. It's sunny out. It is. I mean, I don't know if you've ever been out in California.
That's beautiful.
It's gorgeous. It is gorgeous. It's prohibitively expensive, but it's gorgeous and it's lovely and the people are lovely. But is it a culture that you can drop someone from Great Britain in and they feel entirely comfortable right away? I don't think so. I think they have to live there for a while.
Yeah.
I think they got to get there early and do what they do. So but let's start here, my dear. Do you want to ask any questions of the tarot about those two bozos first?
Well, yes, because she had her scam jam. Oh, this is beautiful. She had her scam jam, and she had her As Ever show. And my thing is, because she's trying to be popular and she's trying to make herself relative and all this PR move that she's trying to do. But will she ever get a new deal again? Will she ever come make it through this downfall that she's going into? Because I see a downward spiral.
Yeah. And I don't think that this trip to Jordan was as good as it could have been. So let's see. This is what we're going to do. So Michelle's here. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Michelle.
Bye. So, one of the things that I stress with tarot psychic readings is the best thing you can do is ask for direction. Ask for how to get to the best result possible. So, Haley, I got your question. So at the present, this is a lot of stress and anxiety right now. That's where she is right at this moment. So how do we get out of this? Action she should take right here. Page of Cups, dial it back, sweetheart. She's got to dial it back. You know, I was talking to my girlfriend, and you know, they keep doing that. I think it's kind of unfair. They keep doing the side by sides with Catherine, Princess of Wales, and the Duchess of Sussex. And
there's no comparison. Yeah.
Well, they keep doing with kids, and like kids are such a variable. They tell you in Hollywood, never work with kids or animals because they're always going to upstage you. And and I'm one of those people, Letitia. I am one of those people that kids do not gravitate towards. You know, it's not like I go and like scare them off, but I think I'm just too loud and I'm not as interesting as when I was younger and I was punk rock and I had a mohawk. They flocked to me because they thought I was so different. But you know, I am one of those people that like when I lean over and like, don't get me wrong, like if I see a baby, I am picking that baby up and snuggling it. But most kids do not like come running over to me. They're not like, hey, you want to play? Like it's just not the energy that I give out. And so I think Meghan may put a little too much out. She may be too eager to reel those kids in and be the proof that she is an attractive and radiant and loving person that these kids are flocking to.
Right.
So I think she needs to dial that back. And I know she was saying not long ago, she's not in the prove it game anymore. I think subconsciously she is.
Yeah, she is. Because she's always given us her resume.
Yes, absolutely. When I was 11 years old. I'm sorry. I had to say it. So what should she not do? So the death card is change. That is transformation that's unstoppable. When it's in the upright. When it's in the reverse, what we have is a refusal to change. And so we're getting some double negatives. So what she should not do is she should not refuse to change. She has to understand that the vision that she made for herself is not manifesting.
Right.
So the idea that she was going to be the next Gwyneth Paltrow or she was going to be the next, you know, Martha Stewart or whomever, it's not working. You know, the next Lady Diana, the next Mother Teresa, it's not going to work. She can't be the next Angelina Jolie, especially because Angelina Jolie is still walking around on two legs. So what will she do? Queen of Pentacles. She's going to try and rebrand. And that is
again.
She's going to try and rebrand again. She's got to rebrand those pants. I went on your live. The pants. What is she doing?
She is on something else.
The pants are unbelievable. They're unbelievable. You know, as a short person, I'm only 5'1" and 3/4. I lie and I tell people that I'm 5'2", so I am a liar. Phony and a fraud. Lying about my height. You know, there are things that we can't wear. You know, you just can't if you're short.
Wear.
I would love to wear maxi skirts. You know what happens when I put a maxi skirt on? I look like I'm 8,000 sizes wider. Like I just get buried in it. Lady Letitia, you did not have to do that, my dear.
I love it. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. You didn't have to do that. But
yes.
I do very much appreciate it. Thank you so much. So we've got a rebrand coming from Meghan.
Okay.
You know, I don't know. Like maybe she's going to be like a pickleball queen. I don't know. Like I just want to say, girl, just stop for a minute, you know, just stop and look around. I know they're trying to earn money. Like, you know, you have to make money, but sometimes you gotta press pause.
Yeah.
So What can I read for you? Did you want a reading, my dear?
Well, yeah. Well, then. Well, I'm gonna go with what my husband said. Prosperity.
Prosperity. Okay, that's good. All right. I'm gonna give you. Let me give you a different deck. This is the Tarot Oracle deck.
Oh, that's pretty.
So this is actually another content creator, Tarot Oracle. And what he did, this is such a clever deck. He had his followers send their pictures in,
Uh-huh.
and he incorporated them all into the deck.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that so neat and awesome?
Yes.
I could not get on the Kickstarter fast enough when he said he was doing this. So, all right, prosperity. We're going to do you and your husband separately because, you know, sometimes we're like hunter-gatherers here, and we've got, you know, sometimes one of us is going to be able to pull that money in a little bit easier than the other one, and we can support the other one. Got all kinds of good plans here.
Oh, wow. Yes.
So, whoop, just mark that. So we've got past, present, and future. That's your husband. And then we've got, whoop, you got 2 cards in the past, present, and future. Sometimes, like, if the cards stick together and they stick with me,
Yeah.
I take them together. So past for him, High Priestess, and past for you, 2 of Wands and Magician. So this is a real good energy for you guys in the past. And so the High Priestess really is a manifester. She really is someone who closes their eyes for 5 minutes and says, where's that bag of money? And reaches out and like can envision it and can find it right away. She's really a strong, intuitive power of knowing what to do without the academics behind it. So I don't know, like I would say if he like traded stocks or anything like that, like he was real smart and he bought Apple in like 1994, like I told my father to, which he didn't. He thought it was dumb. But I don't let him forget it, and he doesn't. He acknowledges that it was a good one. Now you have the same kind of riz going on here, but your smarts with money in the past really come from knowing what direction to send your money in and what direction it's coming in from. So you see the, you know, like the restaurant flapping door that goes back and forth.
Yes.
You have a real good sense of that financially. So this is our groundwork that we have. Now, here's something really cool too. And I love that these are going together. The Magician and the High Priestess are the ones, they're the ethereal parents that push the Fool out into the physical world to the Emperor and the Empress, who are his physical parents. They're the ones who kind of set the Fool's adventure on its course. And so you guys having this is a very foundational, dreamy energy where you begin your foundations and you begin your foundations here and working together. Let's see what we get in the present. King of Wands and the Hierophant. So your husband, one of the things, and I see him like patching a pool, like he keeps like his perspective of money and prosperity and affluence and fortune coming in. He sees these leaky areas where like every time there's a little bit of good fortune, he's got to patch up something.
Yeah.
And that could be like a bill that has to get paid, or like literally like a leaky tire has to get paid. I want him, and this is such a hard kind of mindset to shake off, because this is an everyday mindset for anyone in the world. If you're a homeowner, if you're a owner, if you're a pet owner, like there's always going to be something that you can throw your money at. You remember what I said here, that you kind of know where like the money is coming and going from.
Exactly.
You now can control that better. So, it's
Oh, I
almost,
like that.
yeah, it's almost as if and I'm not saying like you take over the finances entirely, but if you sat down and kind of shook out all the numbers, you would be able to see very clearly where things need to be pushed to, where finances need to be pushed to, and where they need to be pulled back from. He had that innate sense. He had almost like a lucky sense here with this high priestess energy in the past, and with the minutia and just the normality of life, he's kind of forgotten that magic. He needs like to see that magic again. You can kind of get him to see that magic again through physical management,
Right.
through like kind of saying, well, this is where it's gonna
Go.
this is where we'll get the most return. This is this is something that we can just kind of take care of for now. We can give a little bit to this, we can put a little bit to this, and we can take a lot in. We'll have more room in our wallets. So with this kind of energy,
I love it.
with the directive of you need to find like the magical beans. What is it? The breadcrumbs in the forest, or the glowing rocks in the forest that Hansel and Gretel followed. You need to just kind of find those in the real world. And that's going to help him spark up this little magical, like, boom, money. Just, I know where money's going to come from. I feel bad on how he's kind of lost the magic. And like, as we get older, we lose the tooth fairy, we lose Santa, we lose the Easter bunny. Like as we get older, sometimes we lose that magic. And
Yes.
he just needs a little bit of direction, and he's going to find that magic again. So where does that get us in the future? 10 of Cups, Queen of Pentacles. This is great right here. I love this. I love it. I love it. I love it. He's going to go, we're not having any fun. That's one of the things that he's going to say. So like, if we have to like cut back on nights out, or, maybe cut out a vacation or something like that, he's going to be a little bit pouty. Find alternate ways to do that. So like, if there's budgeting that has to happen that interferes with some things that are more recreational, more fun, kind of luxuries, like everyday luxuries that we have, just you'll be able to do this. Find an alternate way to scratch that itch without emptying the bank account. It's going to be really easy. This is incredibly powerful for you, because in the future, you become this font of generating more money. There are some smart moves that you're going to make with your savings.
Okay.
And I don't know, like if you're going to like dump into like an IRA or something like that, but there's some smart moves that you're going to make with some savings we're able to tuck it away.
Oh, good.
So this will be good. As you pay off debts, this is something that's coming through from one of your ancestors. As you are paying off debts, stash some away. I keep seeing like a coffee can or like a cookie jar with cash.
Oh, yes.
Stash some away. Not necessarily in a coffee can or a cookie jar, but there is somebody who is absolutely yelling at you to save for a rainy day. Have a question. Do you know who that is?
I hear it.
Yeah. Do you know who's yelling at you?
No, but I just know that I should. So someone's yelling.
I do weird things when I do savings. Like sometimes I'll be like, all right, this week I'm going to put, half of all of my rate into the bank. Like I'll put it in my Marcus account and just leave it there. I have a Marcus account. I get like 4%. It's almost 4% on it.
That's good.
And yeah, it's nice. And I don't even go near that. I don't even look at the balance. I just drop money in it. I'm just like, just drop money in it.
Yes.
I dated a guy back in the day who actually saved up for a Harley, and he had like a water cooler jug, and he would just drop 5s and like 10s in it. Like he would drop big bills in it. And when he finally emptied it out, he had a down payment for a house.
Oh,
And
wow.
he was like, "I'm not gonna get a Harley, I'm gonna get a house." I was like, "Okay, that's good too. That's good too." So I think hubby needs just to like spark up a little bit more magic around him. And it's like in the movie The Santa Claus. Um, Believing is seeing in this case. Like sometimes, and he's seen it before. Your husband's seen like the magic with money. He's seen it kind of roll in. And
Yes.
so all he has to do is just believe. He's just got to believe a little bit more like he used to. And
Okay.
I think that his magic needs to get turned back on. You're going to prove it with the practical stuff that you do.
Okay.
But know that you have intuition about money too. You do as well.
Okay.
Let me see if there's any surprises. In May or June, there is a window of opportunity for you to do something extra and bring in a little bit more. So I don't know if that's like a side gig that you have or some kind of side project or something you're going to do with someone else. Maybe it's your channel. Maybe your channel's like really going to blow up. There's something extra that you're going to do that's going to drive some more revenue your way. No, it's not collective money. This is your money. It's going to come in through you.
Okay.
So like end of May, beginning of June. So keep an eye, gear up for that. Start to kind of gear up for that and see if there is so I kind of caught that you had like some kind of court thing going on. Is the maggot the court thing? Is that the court thing?
Oh, yeah. She says Lady L has money coming in, not leaving her maggot. Yes, she's talking. She's talking about my situation that I had with another content creator.
Oh, you don't have to get into it. Like I caught wind of it, and that's okay. We all have issues with content creators. Sometimes, it's it's a wild world out here. Demon Dictator said it to me. She said, it's wild out here on the YouTube.
It's wild out here. Yes, it is.
So, darling, any other questions you have? Anything else?
No, I think I'm good. I think you have a couple of questions.
I do. Are you going to stay up? You want to stay up on
the
screen?
Yes,
excellent,
definitely.
Excellent. Yeah, perfect. Oh my goodness, 10K. Yikes. People are silly.
Yeah, she's
people are silly. All right, so we're gonna kick it off. We got I'm gonna go in order. I know I saw some super chats swoop by. So let's talk about the king real quick, and we're gonna do the Dark Wood Tarot for this one. Bum ba-dum bum. Zephyr, that's right. You get up, girl. Get up, girl. Zephyr K9 is my main mod here. She outranks my husband. All right, so December 12th. Now, Melissa, I know Dave Murphy and I knew something was going to happen in February. Dave thought it was going to be the announcement.
Oh.
Yeah, and I thought there was going to be something going on. So are we going to make it to December 12th? Ooh, I'm getting hair on my arms is going up. Look at that. I don't know if you could see it. Hair on my arms. December 12th. Page of Cups. Sad day. Sad day. 5 of Pentacles. What is that day not working? 8 of Wands. I think we're on to something. And Melissa, my Uncle Kenny had a dream, and not a psychic dude at all. Really doesn't believe in this stuff. He had a dream when the World Trade Centers were gone. He drove by and they were gone.
Wow.
Yeah. 3 of Pentacles, 10 of Wands, 6 of Cups. We are starting that's a lot of sad day cards, right, Polly? Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a lot of sad day cards. Let's just check in on Charles III. How's he doing right now? How do you think he feels about Harry and Meghan right now? Lady Letish, do you think he's helping, or do you think he's mad at them?
I don't think he's helping. I don't think he's shocked, but I just think he's ignoring them.
I disagree with some of the big YouTubers. I don't think he's helping them either. I don't think he really knew about this trip. I don't. I think informed maybe at the last minute, and I think that this was possibly a bridge too far. This was a little too much.
Yes.
So under the surface, and death in reverse again. I think you might be right, Polly. I think he's disassociating, like, he's not here. I'm not dealing with it. I think other people can kind of deal with the fallout in the past. Judgment. King of Wands, he feels powerless to do anything. And everything he has done to try and steer Harry into a better direction, he hasn't done. So the King's at a loss right now. He is being very careful about how he presents to the public. So I don't think he's really making any bold statements or anything. It's like these people that, you can bark all day, little doggy, but when are you going to bite? I think he's really seeing Harry and Meghan as a nuisance, and to ignore them is really the only thing that he can do. I think it's the only thing he can do. Is he going to take the titles? I know everyone wants to know that. Page of Swords. He is really reluctant to take those titles.
Yeah.
He does not want to put Harry out into the world, like, literally, like we're throwing him out in the cold. Like that's what he feels like he's doing with this kid. And and we all keep calling him a kid. Why do we keep calling him a kid? He's not a kid. He's right. It's I think it's quite a difficult position that the King is in.
Yeah, I do too.
I think it's I mean, your babies are babies. I could never put my kid out. I don't even want my kids to move out.
Yeah.
One day they're gonna want to, but I don't want them to. I just don't even know like what that feels like. So so I am gonna agree with Melissa that I think December we're gonna be in some unfortunately chartered territory, but
oh wow. Yeah.
He looks very dry to me, the King. He just looks very, very dry. And I know that chemo is very caustic and drying, and he just is looking more frail than I want him to look.
Mm-hmm.
I really want like my town mayor to be able to beat the mayor up next door, presidents, governors, all those included. I really want him to be robust and ready to go. So Brienne of Tarth included, I'll take Brienne of Tarth as my mayor. Governor, maybe governor of New Jersey, but he just doesn't look that robust. And we all get that with Harry. Like Harry looks like a mess. Looks terrible.
Yeah, he does.
So let's check on Thomas Markle Sr. Thomas Markle Sr. I know Thomas Markle Jr. said that some days are challenging. Thomas Markle Sr., how is Daddy-O doing? 9 of Wands. 3 of Wands. 9 of Cups. I'm going to say very, very guarded at this point about the health situation. 3 of Wands. There's still a lot of care going. I mean, he did lose a limb, so obviously a lot of medical care going on. I am going to say I think that there were some issues with the incision. the closure. I feel like there were some issues with that not healing quite as well as they would have liked it to. And
Mm.
now it's kind of I hate to say a sore spot, like I'm not being sarcastic, but it really is like a difficult area of his recovery. There's a lot of muscular stuff that goes on when you lose a limb and you're starting to learn how to walk again, like all of the
Wow.
to be done. And yeah, like because of the way you lean and because of the way that you're
It's
healing,
real major, isn't it?
it's a big deal. Yeah, it's a big deal. So it's my understanding, and like I actually I asked people at my physical therapy place about it when it first happened. That upper extremity amputations are a little bit easier to recover from because you're
Oh,
not off center trying to walk around.
I
So
see.
yeah. So I think there was a little bit of an issue, like the scarring that's there is like susceptible to infection and irritation. I don't want to say infection because it's not really infection, but like inflames. But I do think we're going to see him opt to go without the leg. I think we're going to see him like more in a wheelchair or crutches. I don't think he's going to walk with the prosthetic leg. Hi, honey.
Oh,
My husband just got here. Gregopedia. This is my husband, Lady Letitia. He
hello.
Gregopedia because he knows everything, and I mean that in the most affectionate way. He is a walking encyclopedia sometimes. So it's
What was his leg? Was it a tiger?
what?
Was it a tiger?
It wasn't a tiger, no, honey. It's
Yeah.
Thomas Markle Sr.
Oh,
I've already said you already know everything about Harry and Meghan against your
I
will.
guess.
Again,
And the Markles.
Lady Letitia's husband, Lord Letitia. Yes, I'm gonna call him Lord Letitia. So I think Thomas Markle Sr. is doing okay. I think the recovery is difficult and a little bit annoying, but it is what it is. So, and I'm going to thank
Wow.
Lady Letitia again for her contribution. She did not have to do that, but it is
Oh, thank you.
appreciated. Let's see what Tech Geek Dame. Love the name. Love it. Let's see. Polly, we're getting to you. We're getting to you, honey. Sit tight. Sit tight. I give long readings, so I just ask her to read. And when I close questions, I tell everybody we're closing. So, Tech Geek Dame, if you work in the tech industry, I am praying for you. I know what it's like. I got 2 friends looking for jobs in the tech industry right now. So, will you get the promotion at work?
I'm hoping for
Seven
you,
of
Jack.
Swords. I want you to look around and I want you to see Tech Geek Dame if there's anybody that's vying for that position as well, because it looks like somebody else is working that interview process behind you, behind your back. Somebody else is in there. Let me see who this person is. 5 of Wands, Knight of Wands, Empress. So, it's a guy or a girl. There's actually 2 people that are vying for this position. And I don't know if they're both internal at your work. One is a guy. He has, this is such a weird description. He has heavy hair. It feels like his hair is almost like kind of dirty. I don't know, it sounds terrible, but it's like heavy. But he's not dirty. I don't want to say he's dirty, but his hair is heavy. It's like thick. And it will get kind of oily faster than other people. And it kind of like comes down. It kind of has like a little bit of a like Jeffrey Dahmer kind of look. Like it sounds terrible. I don't think he's a Jeffrey Dahmer, but it's just that kind of look. It's not dreads. It's more blonde, like a dark blonde, but it kind of swoops this way. And he actually is not great at what he does. He's not a really hard worker. He's a good delegator. So if this is a leadership position, then he's kind of banking on the value of the reports that he's going to have under him. And I would be very, very nervous if he gets that job, because any escalations aren't going to get done. He's just going to be like twiddling around in his office. He doesn't really want the position. He just wants the income and the title bump. He's a lifer at the company too. He's not going anywhere. So like, he really wants to make that happen. There is some approval of him. But it's because he talks a really good game. He's really able to make a lot of promises, but never deliver. He's not going to really deliver. So who's the other one? The other one I'm seeing is a gal. And I think she comes with a pretty good CV resume. I think she comes with some pretty interesting stuff there, but she, I think, had a bad situation at one, and she feels younger. And I think that she may disclose that. I think she may say there was like possibly like a, like a whole HR kind of situation at one of the companies that she worked for, if not the last company. And I think she may disclose that and like foolishly kind of knock herself out of the running. They like her though, because she has a really good pedigree. So I don't know if she comes from like one of the tech giants or something like that. So what do you need to do to lock this down? Because that's really what we know, the competition. We got the competition. But what do you have to do to lock this down? Tech Geek Days. Let's see. What do we got to do? What do we got to do? 9 of Wands, stand your ground. King of Cups, be pleasant. And
Ooh.
2 of Wands, do not accept any consolation prize. This is going to be important, because they may say to her, we're not going to give you the blankety blank position, but we'd really like you to be the right-hand gal for blank who got the job. If she does that, she's basically going to be doing the job without the title and without the payment. So if they don't give her the job, don't accept the consolation prize, say, thank you very much. You know what? I really love my job, what I'm doing right now. I'm going to stay in my position. I know it really well. I don't want to get in the way and tangle up the feet of blankety blank who got the position. The reason why I'm saying this is because if she stays in her position and that person falls out of the position, they don't prove themselves in the first 90 days, she may get offered that main position again. So this is, keep interviewing the way that you're interviewing, keep conducting yourself in the way that you're doing. You're doing everything right now. They just may be wooed by that girl's pedigree, and they may be wooed by the other guy's kind of sweet tongue. But if you just wait a little bit, they may even get the job. Keep your sunny disposition. Don't start looking for something else. Doodoo Bird, it's okay. Doodoo Bird, you get a solid for me. Go ahead, give me your question. Don't worry about it, baby. Go ahead. If you have a question, you drop one, Doodoo Bird. So just put it all in caps so that I can see it, because I'm old and I'm blind. So just be careful about this Tech Geek game. Right now, they're considering a few different people, and you are one of them. Keep doing all the good stuff that you do. Smiley face every single day. Somebody calls you. Yeah, I put that smile on your face before you answer the phone. If you keep doing that, they know that you're competent. They know that you can do what you need to do in your position. There's no reason why you can't bump up to the next one and engineer people to do the same thing you do. So just sit tight on it. And I'm telling you, if they hire somebody, don't get sad. Don't be sad about it. Just wait. Don't help them. Just keep doing your job, because the wheat is going to get separated from the chaff. So that's all I have to say about that. So I hope you like that. Thank you so much for your contribution to my channel. Let me see. Who do we got here? Who do we got next? We got Humanaki. Humanaki is one of mine. She's always here. Humanaki sends me some of the best reading ideas ever.
Oh.
So let's see. I'm going to pull this one. And all right. So Humanaki, I'm going to say this. Oh, you're very welcome, Technique Dame. I don't think that she did sell anything to anyone. I don't think she did. I read on this a while ago. I think she thought that they were exalted. They were in a certain level. They were rising above that. And I don't think that, I think her girls went on vacation there. And I think they did know that there was an adult side. But, you know, I don't think it was anything that wasn't, it wasn't like flashing lights. Like it didn't say like live dudes, you know, it wasn't like that. But is she going to get in any trouble for any of the commingling with the ladies of the island? King of Pentacles, she kept those girls far away from that. In the Sun, they went on vacation. They just went on vacation there. So I don't think there's going to be anything with that. Is she hiding out in the UAE? Is that official? 9 of Swords, no longer worried. 10 of Swords, Ace of Pentacles. She's on the move. She's not staying. I think she's going to like Switzerland. And I don't know if there's any extradition or anything like that from Switzerland. I think she's going to Switzerland. It's a much safer country than the UAE right now. I don't know if our embassy has been cleared in Dubai yet, but I think she's gotten out of the UAE. I think there was she had concerns about not being able to get out if she waited. So I think she boogie oogied out of there. When did she boogie oogie out of there? Let's see. The Sun. She did it undercover. Yeah. Undercover. That was Ace of Pentacles. Same thing. Still moving on to another place, but the Sun presently, you know, when we get the Sun in terms of timing, it's either in a day or in a year. So I don't think she's waiting a year. I think it's within today or yesterday. She carried on. So will she be arrested if she goes back to the United Kingdom? Will she be arrested? Knight of Wands. I don't think she'll be arrested. I mean, technically Andrew was arrested, but he was questioned. And I think it'll be the same kind of format. I think, the same format for her. What's your opinion of Fergie? What do you think, Fergie?
I don't like. I don't know what questions they would be able to ask her other than, you know, because they're supposedly asking him questions based on trade and what he did as far as, you know, business dealings with the E-guy. And
I say his name on here. You could say his name. Jeffrey Epstein. Say it loud.
Okay,
say it loud.
Epstein. But I think that well, if you see her being questioned, and she's going to be questioned, but that's going to be interesting that she is.
I think they're going to question her because she lived in the house.
Right. So I just wonder. Yeah. She was in the house.
She was in Royal Lodge with him. They had like the weirdest divorce ever.
Yeah.
Like, they both lived together. And I don't know. Here in New Jersey, they tried something with families that were breaking up for a little while. It was called bird nesting. And so they would have the family home would be retained and both parents would get an apartment elsewhere. The kids would stay in the house and like one parent would go and stay in the apartment and then they'd come and stay at the house and then the other, they would switch.
Wow.
And it was an epic failure because it was extraordinarily executed. Could you imagine? Like both
No.
of you have to get apartments. Both of you have to set up another house.
Yeah,
and both
that's a
of you-
lot.
That's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot. But it was to preserve the sanctity of the home for the children. And thank God that didn't happen to me when I split up because that
Yeah.
was crazy. It was expensive enough on its own. So yeah, they both lived together. They had the girls in there for some time. And I guess, you know, if you're friends before you get married, yeah, like maybe you can do that. But I don't know. I thought it was very, very unique. But they have 30 bedrooms. So like how hard is it to live in a hotel, you know? So she will be questioned. Will it be about the trade stuff or will it be about the other stuff?
Exactly.
Here's the trade stuff. Here's the other stuff. The trade stuff, 9 of Swords. The 6 of Cups, they will ask her about the island stuff, but she's going to tell a rosy story about that. We just went on vacation. We just had fun there. You know, she's already practiced this. She's got it. She's got.
She knows what she's going to say.
Yeah, but it's the trade stuff. They're going to want to know if he had shared trade information with her and if she had passed it on. So I think perhaps we're going to see some other email trails as well. Great question. Great question. So let's go over and everybody, I'm going to say cheers. I cracked my drink. So
cheers.
Happy hour. Cheers.
Our happy hour.
Everybody loves happy hour.
I need a cute little glass.
All right, so we've got Polly over from Lady Letitia's channel. I'm going to remind everybody, if you're new here, if you are one of my people, go on over, give Lady Letitia a sub. We've got her link in the comments. I'm going to drop it again.
Oh, thank you.
There we go. I'm dropping it again. Go ahead, go over there, give her a sub. We're going to get her. What are you coming up on? 7,000?
Yes.
Coming up on 7,000. Let's get her to 7,000. We want to get her to 7,000. So, all right.
That would be awesome.
Right. So YouTube's been weird lately too, with the subs and views, and there's been a lot of weirdness going on. In my members live, we were going to talk about NT Lawyer. I'll talk about him on here after this question.
Okay.
So Polly wants to know some direction for her love life. Let's see. Actually, I am going to go Rider Waite deck for this. And Miss Polly, we're going to give you an animal card too. An animal card.
Ooh.
You the parrot? You be a parrot?
There is no parrot in there. All right. So love life. What do you need to know?
Oh, this is going to be great.
What do you need to know? 1, 2, past, present, future, boom, past, boom, present, boom, future. And you got Moose. Moose, there it is. Let's read a little bit about Moose. So Moose is ginormous. Moose is undeniable. Moose is rock solid self-esteem. So any of the horned animals of the forest, the older they get, the larger their horns get. You know, they shed every season, every once a year. So wisdom and self-esteem, we gather that self-esteem through good wisdom, through time accumulated. And I think that this is really important. Exponentially because of the cards that I pulled, because past, present, future, in the past, our judgment was skewed. We gave, Polly, you give too much credit to some people that don't deserve it. I'm not talking about second chances here. I'm talking about first chances, like, you know, meeting somebody and say, oh, it's okay. You know, he's kind of, you know, a mess right now, but it's okay. sometimes that first impression is really important. And for you in your love life, you let the first impression, you give grace on the first impression, which is lovely. That's absolutely lovely to do. But sometimes we attract people for our relationships, our assignments. I talk about him all the time. Kyle Gray. Didn't I pull it up before? I pulled it up before for my friend Samantha. So yeah, actually, I'm going to leave this out on the field so we can all appreciate it. So relationships or assignments. Sometimes we bring people into our life to test us and to do the same thing, or to experience the same situation, and it's an opportunity to do it differently. It's a mulligan. If you play golf, it's a mulligan. So in the present, there are a lot of options around you. And when we get the 7 of Cups for love readings, it's like, look at the buffet, because the buffet is going to have, it's going to have some bird wings down at one end because somebody wasn't watching the grill. It's going to have really good fried rice, but there's only going to be a little bit left. You have to grab like a little bit of it. And then there's going to be some delicious things there that maybe they just put out. Like as you're walking away from the buffet, they come out with this amazing tray of macaroni and cheese. Like sometimes we have to kind of look around and get the lay of the land before we zero in on mashed potatoes. We got to make sure that we like take a lap before, like, I don't know, Lady Letitia, do you do this like when you go to a party or like a club or something? Like we used to do that, like take a lap, like
Yeah.
Club,
Walk around.
Find out where the bathroom is, where the bar is, where the cute guys are. Like,
see what we're looking at. See what we're working with. Yes.
What's the best spot for dancing? Like, what are we doing here?
Yes. You take a lap around the perimeter.
Yeah. So Holly, I want you to take a couple of laps. Oh, she said she has a lot of choices. She's in confusion. So one of the things that I want you to take inventory. Okay. Oh, she's so cute. She's like, okay, I see what you mean. Take inventory of the relationships that you've been in, and what you like and what you don't like. I tell everybody to do a wish list before they start dating or they start looking for a serious relationship. And that was one of the things that my audience has heard this before. But when I broke up with my son's father, I had 2 kids. I had $50 to my name, and I left. And thank God for my father. My father helped me get from A to B. Made the survival of my family very, very possible. But I started to engage with my friends again. And so I had 2 friends, both of them one was an active police officer and one was a retired police officer. One was my saxophone player in my band. And we were smoking some cigars and drinking wine at my house. And I said, I'm never dating again. I go, I'm too old, 41, who's going to date me? I have 2 kids. Like, I'm done. And they said, well, write a wish list. So I wrote, industriously wrote out this whole wish list. I handed it to them. The 2 of them died laughing. They would go, you're never dating again. You're never dating anybody again. This list is impossible. My husband hit everything on that list. It was like 40 items, hit every single one on that list, with the exception of not having more tattoos than me. He has none. And I can't remember what the other condition was, like, that was like a non-negotiable for me. So you never know what you're going to conjure up. Like, I'm not a magician, I'm not a witch or anything like that, but you never know like what you're going to bring to you if you're just saying, like one of my girlfriends that's dating, she's like, I just want to meet somebody. I tell her, stop saying that, because you're going to meet anybody. You're not going to meet somebody great. You're going to meet anybody, and anybody that walks in your door is going to make you nuts. So this tells me in the future that you're going to ignore your data, but the future is always changeable. We can flip this sucker around. We can get him turned around. So what's your strongest asset for that? Justice in reverse. Do not give this grace again. Justice and judgment are very, very similar. Judgment is the process. Justice is what happens after it. Stop entertaining the riffraff. Like if there's some riffraff that's
Ooh.
showing up and you're like, well, maybe,
Yeah.
give it a
I can fix
minute.
them.
Give it a minute. What, Greg?
I can fix them.
Yeah, Greg goes, I can fix them. Don't worry about fixing them. Yeah, high standards. And that is like Zephyr said.
That's funny.
Be picky. We can be selective.
Yeah, be
without
picky.
being bitchy, like we can.
Yeah.
So let me just
Set
tell
your
you.
standards at a level that is like
quality.
unbelievable.
Set it to high quality.
Yeah. And then go get somewhere in the middle.
So some of the lessons from Moose here. If you've chosen Moose card, you have reason to feel good about something you've accomplished on your journey. This is likely the relationships that she's passed through. This may be a habit you've broken, a completion of some sort, an insight on a goal, or a new sense of self that you fought hard to earn. So in addition to the wish list of who you want to be with, I want you to create the avatar of who you want to be in the relationship. It's a little different from what I tell other people. Because, like, I'm not saying you're not perfect. Like, we're all perfect in our own way. But, sometimes we want to be riding in the passenger seat. And sometimes we want to be in the driver's seat. Sometimes we want a really good, I don't play pickleball, but I talk about it all the time. I've never played it in my life. Sometimes we want to be, a pickleball player with our friend, with our partner. And sometimes maybe you need a running partner. Maybe you just need somebody to like take a cooking class with. I want you to figure out what your role is in that relationship. Because we always are looking for change. We're always looking for improvement, progress. We always want to be a little bit different than what we were yesterday. I adhere to the Boy Scout adage of leave an area better than you found it. I try and do that all the time.
I love that.
Yeah, it's a good way to live, like do no harm, come in and try and make things a little bit better. I always try and make everybody feel better. After being with me, after getting a reading with me, that's what I want everybody to live their best life. I think finding the ideal poly, we find the ideal partner and we bring that to us. So that's what I have to say to you, my dear. I hope you enjoyed that.
That was awesome.
Thank you. And I totally went over my hour that I thought I was going to go on. All right. So we got Polly, we got Haley. And you know what? I am going to close up questions. I don't know if were there any more questions in the chat? I don't think I saw any. But I'm going to close up questions because I know how's your baby feeling? Is your baby feeling better?
She's fine. I think she's asleep right now. Yeah. She's
Dudabird needs to drop me a question, Dudabird, please. If you have a question, I am more than happy to answer it. I will close the questions right after. Actually, I'll put the banner up, but Dudabird, you drop your question. I love that name, Dudabird. It's so much fun.
I love it. I love your banner. It's cute.
Well, Zeph says y'all, so I give that to her. I put that up. Questions, because she kept having to say in the chat, questions are closed, y'all.
Put it again, Dudabird. Write it again for us, please, because I didn't see it.
Yeah, I missed it. I'm sorry. If any of the mods see it, just grab it and copy and paste for me if you can. So we'll read on Beatrice and Eugenie while we're waiting just for that copy and paste. So let's do Beatrice 1, 2. Beatrice, I think, knows. I'm going to do them in this order. I got you, Dudabird. Sit tight, baby doll. Sit tight.
Thank you, Mustard.
I think Beatrice knows that the titles are going.
Ooh.
I think she knows they're losing their titles. Yep.
They're going to lose them.
They're going to lose him. Not right away. I think they're going to lose him in about a year.
Wow.
I think the royal family, whomever makes this decision, is going to give them some time to sort out their affairs before they pull everything from them. So bring favor homes, everything that's paid for by the royal family. I think they're gonna start pulling that, and I think Beatrice already knows that. Let's see
So
about
the whole family is being stripped.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hang on. Let's see. Eugenie. 9 of Wands. Yeah, 9 of Wands. The 5 of Pentacles is the alien card. Alienation.
Oh.
So in the traditional Rider-Waite, it's a picture of two people called the Mendicants. They were a religious sect. They were an aesthetic religious sect that would give up their wealth and their creature comforts to become closer to God. But it's also being put on the outside. And this is 9 of Wands, no longer being protected. So I think Eugenie knows it. I think she's already there. She's like, whatever, good. We're out of here. 7 of Swords. Now we can do whatever we want. Ooh, that's a little dangerous. That's a little dangerous. Shit, this is such a bye Felicia moment.
Oh.
Yeah, she's doing a bye Felicia moment. And you know, she's just it'll hit. I think it's going to hit Beatrice harder. I think she's going to be very sad about not having that connection with the family. I think Eugenie is like, she's flipping him off on this. She's giving him the 2-finger salute on the way out the door.
Yeah.
She's going to leak information through friends.
Yeah, she's pissed.
She's going to say, what difference does it make if I talk smack about them after they kick us out? It's not going to make a difference. Not going to make a difference. We have our own future to fuel is really what she's going to say. So Eugenie, I think, is very, very dangerous. I think she's a little bit dangerous. I feel bad for Beatrice too. I like Beatrice.
Yeah.
So, all right, Sarah. Let's see. Sarah. Let's see what's going to happen to Sarah. Empress. She's going to live with one of her girls.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah. She doesn't have any place to go.
Mm-mm.
So going with her girls, one of them or both of them, is really going to be the only thing that she can do.
Yeah.
She's going to say, I don't have any money. I don't have any money. Oof. She'll be behaving herself, but there's going to be a lot of ruckus around her.
Oh.
There is going to be a lot of ruckus around her. You know, I think in the moment she's cool in her heels, possibly in Switzerland. I don't know. I'm kind of hoping that comes true. But that's pretty close to Portugal. She can just kind of skip over to Eugenie's house. She can do that. Oh, we got another one on here too. Whitmore. So, all right. We got one more on the table. So
and let me
get Dudebird.
Her health.
Let me see. There we go. All right. And let's get you. We'll do regular. We'll do this one.
Just a second.
All right, Dudebird. So we've got head, heart, bones, skin. All right, so right here in the chest. When I say heart, I don't necessarily mean the heart. I mean the chest. I've got breathing. that seems a little, the head is totally fine. Like you're already problem solving, trying to figure out how to resolve some health issues. I'm feeling like a heaviness in the chest, like a little bit of difficulty breathing. So doo-doo bird, I don't know if you have like some scarring or leftover like from COVID or something like that, but it feels like the breathing is a little bit difficult, a little troubling. That could also be heart, though. Sometimes that manifests as heart. So that's going to be our most important thing that we pay attention to. What do we do? The medical team that you're working with right now, one of the things that I would do is get a second opinion. A lot of people don't like to do that because it's extra expense. Sometimes the insurance doesn't cover it. If you're in the United States, call your insurer and say, listen, I'm not getting anywhere with this one. I really want to go for a second opinion. How can I do it and have it covered by insurance? They'll usually guide you in the right direction. Again, like I was an insurance agent, so I kind of know what I'm talking about. But I would do that. I would get a second opinion because I do think that they're overlooking something. And it does feel that it's something that's remediable through medication and not necessarily a more dramatic application of medicine, if that makes sense. So I want you to see what you can do. See if you can get another opinion. If it's a practice where you have numerous doctors, like maybe they would even let another doctor kind of review and give their input on your treatment plan. Ideally, I'd like her to get an outside opinion if possible. So your bones, I want you to pay attention to your bones. Us ladies, we gotta do the density test. I've skipped out of mine twice, so my bones are probably powdered sugar on the inside. But make sure you do the bone density test. And your skin, if you don't go for regular skin cancer reviews, go over there and have a dermatologist do one. I don't think that there's anything there. This is something that I think you need to get into a habit of. Also, when I get the skin and I get that sun in reverse, it's like sunscreen. Make sure that you're doing all the right things. So, everything here feels pretty good. Do you have a foot thing? Is your foot sore? I can't tell which ankle it is, but I've got my ankles crossed, so I don't know if it's one or the other. But I get like almost like a foot thing. Like there's a mobility thing with the foot, like the ankle clicks or something. If that's so, feet. Yes. Okay. So check with your doctor and see if you can do like Epsom salt soaks and things like that. I have arthritis in both of my feet, and I have arthritis in a bunch of spots, and it was from being a gymnast. And an Epsom salt soak is like the greatest thing ever. It is like magical. So talk with your doctor before you do that. That's something you always need to make sure they may have. Your knees are also replaced. Okay. Knees feel okay though. They feel like everything's kind of okay. Just that ankle, there's an ankle that like clicks and like it just doesn't feel comfortable all the time. It's not doing its job the way it should. So just be mindful of that. Be mindful of that. So there it is, Doo-doo Bird. I love that name. I love listening to you, and you're like, that Doo-doo Bird. It's great. It's great. All right, so we got one more. We got one more question. We got Whitmar coming at us from Canada. From Canada. Let's get a fun deck. We'll do canned sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows. I know that one. I love Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. My kids love that movie. You're very welcome, Doo-doo Bird. Oh, that's so nice. Her dad gave her that name. All right. So Whitmar wants to know status with my relationship with baby moms. Sorry there, honey. Sorry there. Go ahead to bed, Samantha. Go ahead to bed. Your bed is calling you. Good night, Sam. Good night, sweet Sam.
Good night, Samantha.
All right. Status.
Well, this is going to be interesting.
So, Honey Bunny Whitmar. So you can appeal for love and try and get things back to where they were. But no, it's okay. Don't be scared. Some things are some transgressions are a little bit harder to get over than others. So my dad is Jewish, and one of the things we do in Jewish weddings is we wrap a glass in a couple of layers of cloth, and the groom stomps on it. And it is to symbolize one of the temples that fell. But it's also, some rabbis will express that this is showing you that actions sometimes have irrevocable results. Things that we say, things that we do. Our rabbi in our family, that's one of the things that he says when we break the glass. He says that, you can say one thing and it can destroy the entire marriage. You're never going to be able to put it back together. Now, I have a very hard line when it comes to cheating. It's something that me personally, and maybe it's something I need to work on in analysis, something that I personally have a hard time, continuing the relationship after a cheating experience. I think you have to really examine how this looks if you were to get back together with her and try and continue to live the experience that you had before. Kind of the innocence is gone. The curtain has been pulled back. So is that going to be an entity that sits in the room every day for the rest of your life? You have a child in common, so you're going to have to co-parent. Is it easier to co-parent having separate lives? Is it easier to co-parent and have full wholesale forgiveness? That's really where you are at. And I know that you love her. And I will tell you, I have 2 kids with 2 different dads. I will tell you, it is easier to stay together with somebody than to co-parent. Sometimes it gets very dicey. It's very complicated. Holidays were the first year that I was broken up with my son's dad. Holidays were such it was an incredible fight. And I was like, look, we've just got to set a standard and stick with it. That's I'm not trying to rob anybody of the holiday or the magic of the holiday, but we've got to have a plan and we've got to stick with it. So where do we go from here at this moment? For her, for baby mama. Page of Wands. She's over there. She's doing her best to kind of restart a gig on her own. But I think she's having a little bit of trouble getting the plane off the ground, if you know what I mean. Be careful that you're not solving problems for her and you and calling it love. My Uncle Kenny, famous said, nobody falls in love faster than a guy who needs a place to live. I want you to be careful that you're not taking charge of the bills that she can't pay, the situation that she can't set up for herself, and exchanging that for being together. If you truly want to be together, don't be a magician that makes things happen, makes things easier. Greg, my husband said, don't simp and call it love. At the same time, all of our relationships, all of the relationships that we're in, there is an exchange of goods. like there may be I don't know, like you give your friend a ride to work when they need a ride because their car's in the shop. You borrow a dress for a wedding. Like there's an exchange of goods with everyone. All relationships are transactional. I want you, Whitmar, if you and baby mama, if you want to get back together with her, if you want to put your family back together, you're going to have to step into that relationship with baby's well-being being the number one priority. And if we do that, we get the fool on the top of pancakes. We get to do the fresh start, but we have to, it's almost like daily, you're going to have to remind yourself, I'm doing this because we're a family. It's not one person to love. It's a family. It's a big room of love. I think if we can sit down and kind of understand where the deficiencies were that caused her to kind of go off and get off the porch, we may be able to see this into a different incarnation, to a different level of relationship. We all grow up. I was an idiot when I was in my 20s. I was an absolute idiot. Laura Cleary, the comedian, wrote that book. That she had a substance abuse problem, and she called her book, her biography, Idiot. I was an idiot. Sometimes we make mistakes, and had I had kids back then, maybe I would have made mistakes that would have been on a grander or a more generational scale. But I think it maybe we shouldn't let this relationship go where it goes. There's a lot on your shoulders, Whitmar, because you really have to come to terms with whether you can, again, live with that entity in the room or exercise it and get it out, get it out of here. You may be able to do one or the other. So think on this. And I'm sure, you have to interact with baby mama. I would see. So it's not just the baby, Whitmar, it's the family. You have to look at it as a family. It's not baby mama, baby, dog, cat. You have to look at it as a family.
It's almost like he has to change his verbiage.
Yeah. And
right.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I have a very specific criteria when it comes to cheating. It's
me too.
And you know what? That's
different.
It's a deficiency for me, though. Like
when you're married and stuff like that. Yeah.
I just can't forgive. I just can't. Like that's a line you can't cross.
And that's the thing with you're gonna have to do too. You're gonna have to forgive her for that and stop bringing the affair up. The affair is gonna have to go to the back, like Annabelle said. Find out what was the breakdown in the first place. But eventually, you're gonna have to forgive for the married man situation.
So he said she keeps breaking boundaries with me. Yeah, she doesn't have boundaries. She doesn't understand what they are. And that, again, like, is a deficiency for some people. Like, some people come from families that, kind of barge in the room. When I didn't have, here's like, my family has like a mixed bag of boundary breaking. My father, when I wasn't having kids, pulled me on the side, and because I was training dogs and I was always like in like Carhartts, and he was like, "Are you gay? And if so, here's this clinic that we can take you to so you don't miss having kids." And I was like, "Oh my God, are you trying to breed me? Like what's happening here?" And I was like, "I'm not gay, but like I appreciate all the thought that you put into it." Like like that's like such a weird boundary. But like some people don't have boundaries like that. They just don't. And those are things that we learn and we grow in relationships. I think that she had an interesting baseline before becoming an adult. She feels very, very young. She feels very fresh and in her, in her youth. Let's put it that way. All of those things can be changed. And we can learn new habits. We can learn, how to write with our left hand or how to drive on the other side of the car. We can learn those things. And I think this is something that she can learn. There's a lot of different directions we can go in. And one of the things is, in this deck, this is Tarot Oracle's Tasty Tarot. He classifies Seven of Cups as bad choices. Look at the bad choices. Like there's a bubble bath in there. Like everybody's, so, bad choices. Yeah. Sometimes I think, baby mama does make some bad choices, but I think it is something that is learned. And I think, when we talk about starting families, and again, like I have 2 kids with 2 other guys, and my husband and I don't have kids. Families are very different now, and I think as she gets older, she can mature into this. So it's a big ask on you though to say, you've got to come to terms with whether you can live or not with this, and if not, then go your separate ways. Let her do her life. You do your life, and you be the best dang co-parent that you can possibly be. You make sure that the kid grows up with boundaries and values and morals, and, is equally loved by both parents. Like that's really, that's our blue ribbon or our red ribbon. Blue ribbon is, we all kind of come to terms and go on as a merry little family. The red ribbon, the second place ribbon, is being the best gosh darn co-parent you can be. And it's not easy. It's not easy to be a co-parent. It's not easy to learn how to navigate that, especially like when you have, people start dating and other things start going on, it gets dicey. It gets dicey. It gets complicated. It gets bananas. But at the end of the day, it's all for the kids. We're doing the work, the heavy lifting here on planet Earth. So, Lady Letitia, this was fun. This was a great time.
Thank you so much for happy hour. Do you do this often or every now and then?
I do tarot happy hour every Friday. I got away from it for a couple of years because I felt like Fridays were so jammed up, and I went to Sunday, but then all the content creators I know were on Sunday. So it just got very crowded over there, and it was hard I was getting up like really early to do like a brunch, and I was like, I can't do this. I'm going to sleep in on Sunday. So I think Friday is a much better launch day because I do private readings over the weekend. I typically don't do a lot of content over the weekend. I just have my regular clients come in. So this way everybody can kind of hang out, chill out on Friday night. I'm going to make lasagna. I got to make some lasagna noodles. I got to make pasta. I got a whole bunch of stuff going on. So that's going to be the rest of my night. My Friday, I'm going to ease into the weekend. And then Saturday and Sunday all day is going to be readings. We were supposed to go to a St. Patrick's Day parade in a little town called Belmar here in New Jersey. It's a shore town. And they do, a lot of their participants go to the New York parade. So they do it the first Sunday in March, and my aunt lives down there. I lived in her apartment in her carriage house when I was in college. So I'm used to going every year, and it's a big parade. They have a big party at the house, and we're having weather again. So they canceled it preemptively. And so I was like, all right, well, I already took the day off, so we may as well, just open up for readings. So I opened up the whole day for readings, and I said, just everybody come on in. Yeah. But I will be live on my Hipsy app for the whole weekend, but you can also book appointments with me through my calendar link, the Calendly link. Both of those are in the description of this video. They're on my About page. Lady Letitia, when can we see you next?
I'm available.
So you guys are
always
always
available.
welcome. If you ever want to come to happy hour again, like let me know if you ever want to co-host with
Yes,
me. I
this
would
was
love that. What do you have coming up this week? Or are you on hold, like waiting to
I'm
see?
free. I'm free. Yeah.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. We'll work something out. When's
Okay.
do you go live every day? Are
I
you live?
do.
You do. What
Yeah.
do you go live at a specific time every day?
I go in during the week, I go about 9 o'clock in the morning
Okay.
after I drop my daughter off.
Okay.
Yeah. I usually
Mm.
go around that time, but she's been ill, so I've been going a little later. But
Well, showing around. If you knew how much concealer I had on, like I'm like caked up here.
well, you
Um,
look beautiful. You're beautiful. Thank you
uh,
so much
Thank
for
you.
having
It's,
us. It's
it's a
just so
delight.
awesome.
Yeah, I love that we connected through Demon Detector.
Me
I think this is
too.
great. Like I said, our communities are really, really similar. And
Yes.
I actually have a lot of people from your neck of the woods. So
Good.
yeah, and we both have a lot of English people. So
Yes.
it's you're on a really great time for the English market.
Yes.
So I think our communities need to kind of bind together, have some fun together.
Yes.
And I think we're gonna forge some new friendships and relationships as we do this. So
I
we'll
love it.
coordinate for next week.
Okay.
We're in competition season with my son. He plays in indoor percussion,
Oh,
and yeah, we're jumping around a little bit, but British, not English. Sorry, Greg. But I'm trying to keep my content up. I am straight content all week, production content, limited premieres. I'm going to try and do like one premiere a week, and then Fridays I just do lives. I just do my members live, and then I go right into this one. So into the happy hour.
fun. Oh
So
my
it's super fun.
God.
Super fun.
It's so exciting. Your life is so exciting.
And occasionally it's too exciting. Sometimes I wish it would slow down. But so Monday, everybody go look for Lady Letitia on Monday, and we will be back here next week. So everybody come on back for happy hour. I may move it up just a little because I know it's so late for the people in the United Kingdom. So I may kind of flex it up just a little bit. So keep an eye out for that. I usually put up all the lives on Monday. Go on over, book with me if you want to spend some time with me this weekend. You go over to Otter Spirit. I love my Otter Spirit friends over there. My account managers are so awesome. I'm going to try and get them turned on to a couple more tarot readers that I know. But everybody have a fantastic weekend. It's a wild weekend astrologically. It is a wild weekend numerologically. So we got Mexico popping off. We got the Middle East popping off. So everybody sit tight. I am going to do a production video on the Middle East tomorrow. And I think I'm going to have something royal production for Sunday.
Oh, we're gonna come by. You got a lot going on. So we're definitely gonna come by and check you out. I got you on my notifications.
Oh, good. That's another thing, guys. Put the bell on for Miss Letitia so you can make sure that you see her videos, guys. So everybody, Miss Letitia, you sit tight for a second. Everybody
Okay.
have a great weekend. I will talk to you all over. You'll see some production over the weekend. I'll be live on Friday. Keep an eye out. I've got some cool stuff coming up for next week, and I will see you in the future.